Flood concerns continue to rise across the state, especially after a day of rain. But what are local cities seeing? The city of Golden Valley is proactively working to prevent flooding. The city is one of a handful of northwest suburbs that is part of the Bassett Creek watershed. The good news, according to city officials, is they don't anticipate severe flooding issues right now. But Golden Valley does have several low-lying streets adjacent to the creek.
As long as we get nice weather, up and down temperatures, and a slow snow melt, we're not too terribly concerned. But we are monitoring the creek. We're removing obstructions. We're looking for ice jams and just keeping an eye on the areas that we know are problematic for flooding.
The city also has been working since Saturday to clear catch basins so street flooding doesn't back up into yards and possibly into homes. A major project along the Bassett Creek watershed in Crystal is nearly wrapped up. It will not only alleviate local flooding, but also improve water quality. Crews have been working since late January to dredge Winnetka Pond. The $1 million project dredged the pond to a depth of 6 feet so that it could store more water. The project should help improve water quality downstream in Bassett Creek and the Mississippi River.
Well, I think as Minnesotans, everybody really values water quality, the streams and rivers and lakes that we find in our communities, and this is one of the ways that we can do it.
Officials from the Bassett Creek Watershed Commission are asking people to help improve water quality by keeping grass clippings, leaves, fertilizer, and salt out of the streets. A couple of restaurants that pack a celebrity punch plan to open up in Maple Grove. The Planning Commission got a look at what the new Wahlburgers restaurant will look like. It's proposed for the new Village at Arbor Lakes area. It will be about 6,000 square feet and seat about 200 people. The restaurant hopes to be up and running by the end of the year, but first must be approved by the City Council. And there's another celebrity wanting to open up a restaurant in the Village at Arbor Lakes. Crisp and Green, a fast casual salad and smoothies concept, will be opening its 5th Twin Cities location. This one will be the 2nd location owned by former NBA player Chris Humphries, and it expects to open up this spring as well. Starting this summer, people will have a more environmentally friendly way to get around the Twin Cities.
This bus here comfortably fit, 50 or 60 people. That's 50 or 60 cars that aren't on the road. That's a good first step.
This is Metro Transit's new 60-foot electric bus that will debut June 8th. It's one of 8 electric buses that will pick up passengers at the Brooklyn Center Transit Station and take them to downtown Minneapolis via the new C Line. Metro Transit officials expect ridership to increase when the electric buses make their debut.
Right now, the Route 19 is one of our busier routes, somewhere in the neighborhood of 5,000 rides a day. We project that by providing that more frequent service for a longer duration, plus the higher amenities, the shelters that have heat, good coverage from rain and snow, cameras, emergency telephones, all of that, it's going to grow our ridership to closer to 9,000 a day.
Metro Transit received a $1.75 million federal grant to help pay for the buses. The process is now set to fill the Plymouth City Council seat made vacant when longtime member Judy Johnson was appointed to the Metropolitan Council. Applications will be due April 2nd with finalist interviews April 16th. The City Council plans to appoint a new member April 23rd. That person will fill the remainder of the term, which runs through the end of next year. Today's Standout student has a jam-packed calendar, but still manages to set aside time to help others. Delane Cleveland introduces us to a Wayzata senior whose work is having a big impact in Minnesota and around the world.
Así es escuchado, Estados Unidos.
To fully understand the world around you,
Está respondiendo a Eliana.
it helps to get out of your bubble.
Escorpión.
And for Wayzata High School senior Audrey Koehler,
Do you have a test today?
this AP Spanish class is a big first step.
I think language helps us relate to others, not only in just being able to maybe speak or converse or at least understand, but also in understanding culture.
La preparación de las hormigas
Audrey hopes to pursue a Spanish minor in college, with the goal of it leading to opportunities to study or volunteer abroad.
Otro ejemplo.
But she's not waiting until she gets to college to make a global impact.
I happened to walk by here one afternoon after school, and I could not believe the buzz that was going on in here and how excited the girls were.
Sue Iverson is Wayzata's gifted and talented coordinator. She's referring to a project Audrey led on behalf of the organization Days for Girls.
So Days for Girls is a international nonprofit, and the premise of the organization, it's named Days for Girls because they're making reusable menstrual kits for women and girls who don't have access to these products.
As part of her National Honor Society leadership project, Audrey and about a dozen classmates put together these kits using donated fabric. The kits are then sent to Haiti.
It's just something that kind of happened to fall into my lap, and then I continued on with that for my own personal interest rather than to meet some requirement or impress somebody else.
The Days for Girls project is just one example of how Audrey gives back. She and a few other Wayzata students also periodically visit a Plymouth senior living home to dance and lead dance fitness classes.
There are always those kids that stand out as extra special, and Audrey will always be one of those extra special students to me.
She's an extra special student who's just scratching the surface of how to positively impact the world around her. In Plymouth, Delane Cleveland.
An amazing young woman, and she's one that I'm going to miss.
CCX News.
Audrey plans to attend the University of Wisconsin-Madison, where she plans to major in marketing and minor in Spanish. Her goal is to one day work for a nonprofit. The outlook today was rather foggy, as you might have noticed. Photojournalist Dustin Scholl captured these pictures in Golden Valley. As we go to break, a reminder for you that you can see all of our local news on our website, ccxmedia.org.
The state girls basketball tournament got underway Wednesday morning. Hopkins is unbeaten and the #1 seed in Class 4A. The Royals faced Lakeville North in the quarterfinal round at Williams Arena. Paige Becker's bringing it up court for the Royals, finds Delayla Shakolas, who turns and scores 2 of her 13 points. The Panthers' Lauren Jensen hits a 3 to give Lakeville North the lead at 7-6, but it would be their last lead of the day. Hopkins then goes on a 9-0 scoring run. Beckers drills a 3 as part of another big scoring day for the junior. Then she'll pass to Maya Najee in the low post, and the freshman scores. Najee nets 13 points in the game. Hopkins takes a 12-point lead into halftime. Lakeville North, like most teams, can't slow down Beckers. She drives and scores 2 of her 29 points here as the Royals win 68-46. They'll play in the 4A semifinals Thursday night at 6 at Williams Arena. Wednesday's second quarterfinal round game in 4A matched up Northwest Suburban Conference opponents Maple Grove and Centennial. The Crimson trying to reverse a regular season loss to the Cougars last month. Centennial Sarah Lavelle loads up at the top of the key, hits a 3-pointer to put her team up 9-2. But the Crimson then scored the next 9. Jordan Lampker drives and scores in the paint, put Maple Grove up 11-9. And watch Abby Schulte take this one all the way for a layup, and she puts Maple Grove up by 5 at 16-11. The Cougars would come back and take the lead by halftime. Taylor McCauley takes the pass from Lavelle to score. Centennial leads 38-34 at halftime. Second half, Lampker turns in the lane to score, tying the game at 48. But Maple Grove can't pull this one out. Centennial goes on to win 74-64, and Maple Grove falls into the consolation bracket. In boys basketball, section champions will be crowned this week. In Section 5-4A, arch rivals Park Center and Osseo went head-to-head in the semifinals. Top seed Park Center trying to avenge 3 straight playoff losses to Osseo. Dane Danger pops a 3 early for the Pirates. They go up 5-3. He's one of 4 Pirates in double figures with 11 points. Bernardo Muria comes off the bench and hits some big shots for the Orioles, hitting 3 threes total. Emmanuel Thomas behind the back dribble leads to a layup, and Park Center's up 4. Their lead grows to 7. Osseo fights back as Cornell Richardson hits the pull-up jumper to tie it at 24. He scores 13 in the game. And here's how the half ends. A missed free throw, a missed putback try, and then Danger dunks it at the buzzer as Park Center leads 31-26 at halftime. Josh Brown has a huge game off the bench for PC. He hits back-to-back threes to give the Pirates a 9-point lead. Once again, Osseo calls back. Eli Barlow to Terrence Waits. The Orioles are up 47-45 with 4 minutes left. But it's Park Center making the plays down the stretch. Tom Bastille and layup, part of an 11-0 scoring run. Park Center gets a little revenge, beating Osseo 61-52. In the first semifinal, second-seeded Champlin Park took on number 6 seed Roseville. The Raiders, Mario Dukes into the lane, hitting the floater. Roseville up 5-0. They held the Rebels scoreless for nearly 5 minutes to start the game, but then Champlin Park gets going. Jacob Johnson with a 3. Alex John with the steal. Here he takes it back all the way for a big dunk to give Champlin Park a 21-10 lead. Johnson had the hot hand from the outside. He knocks down another 3, one of 4 he made in the game. Champlin Park leads 33-17 at the half. Second half, TJ Moberg connects on a 3, and the Rebels hold their lead on the Raiders. Francis Wakoria gets the ball in the low post. He turns to score. The Rebels pull away to win 59-38. It's their 11th straight win. So it's Champlin Park and Park Center meeting for the section championship Friday night at 7 o'clock at Rogers High School. These teams met in the regular season with Park Center defeating Champlin Park. More coverage of section boys and state girls basketball Thursday here on CCX News.